now. Now, how exactly are we going to go ahead to make these things functional? So for us to make it functional, now for us to make these things functional, we just have to do it in one easy way. And what's the easy way? The easy way is that, first of all, I told you something. Please let us go back to these docs again and let us read it. The doc says that what? Create a new account by passing the new user's email address and password to create what? User with email and password. Now, sorry? Yes, I am. Now, I want you to know something. I want to ask a question again. If you want to get the details of something that actually describes a particular element or a particular thing in JavaScript, what are you going to use? Rephrase the question. If you want to get the details of something or of a particular variable or a particular element or thing in JavaScript, what are you going to do? What are you going to use in getting the details? No, that's not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is, oh, I want to get the details. I want to store the details of a particular value. I don't say detail, details. Is good objects. And why are we using objects? Because I'm storing it in details. It describes that particular person or that particular entity. That's why I'm using objects. Now, for instance, what we're trying to do right now is that we're trying to get the details of a particular user. And what are the details? Email and password. We cannot use variables, only variables, but variables only get one. But we want to get what? Multiple of one user. We cannot use array because array is not really interested in getting the details of one particular entity. You can get multiple details. But object is what? Strictly one entity. So now how exactly are we going to do that? Now it's telling us what? Create a new account by passing the new user's email address and password to this particular what? Module. So for us to do that, we have to create the object in this module. Do you get it now? Because what did it tell us? Create a new account by passing the new user's email address and password to where? To the module. So we have to what? Pass that particular object to that module. First to do that, so what do we do? We'll go ahead and so now in the dots then, don't forget the dots then is where all of these things go into. So in the dots then, we're going to create a particular object that says user data, right? And then we're also going to go ahead and say, oh, so UID. In our last I explained what UID is. UID simply means what? User ID. And what is it expected to do? It's expected to create a unique ID for each user. Now, why are we creating unique IDs for each user? We are creating unique ID for each user because we want to be able to what? We want to be able to easily differentiate between users. You understand? So the ID is what we're going to use. Truth is that in every system, your system does not understand names. You understand? It does not understand, oh, this person is Paul, this person is Ugochi, this person is Kelvin, this person is. It does not understand it. There is like an ID that is supposed to be attached to each user. Now it is that ID that if that user now wants to change their password, you invoke the ID to be able to change that password because there's an automatically generated ID for each user. You understand? That's why your ID is like a math number. So if in the uni, like that, okay, once you have a math number, even if like maybe you wrote an exam and I'm not in uni better, but if you wrote an exam and maybe you forgot to write your name, you get. So if as long as you write your math number, what happens? They can still find your script because your math number is like a unique identifier. Do you get it? And that's what this UID is. To identify a particular person. Now that's basically what your UID is all about. Now, we can go ahead after getting the UID. We're also going to get the email of that particular user. So we're going to say email, right? And the same thing, user dot what email. Now, why are we setting it to user dot email and not empty string? Because we already said const user equals what? User credential dot user. This is from where? Firebase. They've helped you what? Create this particular parameter, user credential already, to be able to what? Get user details. Now, we now stored user credential to what? To the value of user. So now what we have to do is say, okay, for the UID, we have what? The user credential dot the UID. Then also for the email, the user credential dot what? The email. So that we can easily store all of these user what? Details. Do you understand it now? Now that's exactly why we are using what? UID and email. Now you also need to know that in this place, you're not just getting the email. You also need to get the value of the email and then the value of the password. And why are you getting that? I explained in our last class that you have to get the value of the email because what exactly the user is imputing is what you are interested in and not the element. Let me explain something to you. So if you check email right here now, when I said ID of email, what are we getting here? We are getting the whole input here, right? Because the input is, identified by what? This email ID. So when I brought it to my Firebase, what did I say? I said const email equals to document dot query selector as email. What am I getting? The whole input. But what I'm interested in is not the input. What I'm interested in is what is being written in the input by the user. Do you understand now? That's why we are not just going to be getting the email. We're going to be getting what? Email dot what? Value. Because that's exactly what we are interested in. Yeah, email dot what? Value. Then we're also interested in getting what? Password dot what? Value. Now, these are the things that we are going to be getting. And this is how we are going to go ahead and what? Finish whatever it is we are trying to do. So if I go ahead and I say, oh, console.log user data. So now let us check what we have out. So if I go ahead now and let me inspect to check my console. And let's try it out. Now let us try whatever it is just we're trying to do now. Let's try it. So if I say Paul as shareholder.com and I just write whatever it is that I write here, and I go ahead and I click on sign up, what happens in the console? So it's saying 400 bad requests. So there's a bad request here. And why? I think there's something wrong with our there's something wrong with how we structured our. Okay, so let's just continue first for now. I think there's something wrong with how we structured this, but we'll continue for now. Okay, I think I understand what's wrong now. So two things are wrong. Okay, one major thing is wrong. What is wrong is because is that first of all, if you've gotten a particular user detail, what exactly are you expecting to do with the details? To store it somewhere, right? Good. You are storing that detail somewhere. But we've not set up that database, have we? What we just set up is authentication to authenticate users, right? But we've not set up the database to be able to store whatever it is we are getting to that database. So it's always going to return an error. So what we have to do right now is go ahead and set up the database to store the data. So now, how exactly are we going to do that? We're going to be using something known as what? Firebase Firestore. Firebase Firestore. Now, Firebase Firestore is basically the database of Firebase. This is where data is being stored. I told you something. I said, I'm going to use my paint again to explain this. Even though I explained it before, I'm going to explain it again. So I'm going to say paint. So now, I told you something in our last class, or 2 classes ago, that now, this is how Firebase, this is how backend works. So now, you have your application right here, right? Your application has authentication feature. It has database, right? It has, let's say, it has in-app messaging. You want to just be able to message. It has, let's say, payment structure, right? It has maybe storage. Now, one thing that you have to do as a developer is that most of the times you might find out that you have to integrate all of these things individually. You understand? In the backend. But one thing about Firebase is that Firebase is so versatile that all you have to do is have Firebase right here, and then automatically helps you implement all of these things easily. So now we've implemented authentication, right? How exactly are we now going to go ahead and implement the database? You can still go ahead and use Firebase Firestore. To implement authentication, what did you do? Firebase authentication. Right now, to implement Firestore, what do we use? Firebase Firestore. So for us to do that, all you have to do is come right here in your Firebase console. Then you should be able to see databases and storage. Can you see it? Check your Firebase Firestore. You should be able to see databases and storage. Is that what you can see? Can everybody see that? Okay, so let's wait for it to load up. So you should be able to see databases and storage. Okay, good. So click on database and storage. Then now on database and storage, if you go over on it, you see data connect, you see Firestore, real-time database and storage. What you're interested in is what? Firestore. Now, as you can see in data connect, as you can, you're seeing PostgreSQL, you're seeing NoSQL. I'm going to explain that, even though I don't think you really need that right now. So when we talk about SQL, we're talking about structured query language. That's what SQL means. Now, what does structured query language mean? It basically means it basically means data in a table. Do you understand what I just said? Like, so for instance, your Excel is an example of what? A structured query language. Why? Because whatever data it is you are trying to store has to be in an Excel sheet. Do you get it now? But now you now have NoSQL. NoSQL is now a way whereby you can now go ahead and create data in a particular, NoSQL services, whereby it does not require you to understand how to use the tables or even how to use SQL languages or SQL language rather. You understand it now? So we're going to be using what? Firestore. So once you click on Firestore, you should be able to open it up. So click on Firestore. I'm going to try this again. I think I understand why it wasn't working. So can you see? Yeah, can you see what happened? I want you to check something out. So now, what happened was that we're trying to test something to see why exactly this wasn't working. Now, what mistake I made was I declared this outside, making it a global variable. While I now brought the email and password back inside of where? Inside of my sign up button. Now, what exactly did I do? What I did is now that whenever I click on this sign up button, what happens? What should happen is that I wanted to verify my email and my password and be able to check my user details. Now, if you check here out now, if I put for levite2@gmail.com and I just press my password, I want to check what happens in the console here. Now, if I click on sign up, note what happens. As you can see, it automatically send my UID and then my email. Now, as you can see, I did not give it this UID there. No, it's automatically generated, which means if I want to delete this user, I can easily delete this user by the what? By the ID, that UID. Now I can go ahead and create another account. right? And do the same thing, sign up. So if I sign up, you should see another person, which is what Polybyte 21. Kind of the UID is what's different again. You understand it now? But you should note something. I was expecting this question, but I did not get it. The question was, why is there no password there? Please, are we following? I'm not sure a lot of people are following. Mr. Kelvin, are you here? I'm not sure a lot of people have been following since. Mr. David, are you here too? Do you want us to end the class? Everybody's just looking at me like, Jesus Christ, what is this? What is this?
Mr. Paul,
Eh?
please, I'm following you know.
Okay, you said you asked me a question, Mr. Pius.
I said to me, I'm following.
Okay. Mr. Aishosa, Mr. Shegun, are you following, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So now, what I am saying is there is something I want you to understand here before I even move on to explaining fire stuff. And what I want you to understand is that, or the question I was expecting you to ask rather, is that in this place, right? Oh, sorry, now, in this place, what do we have? We have we're authenticating users by their what? Email and what? Password. But in the user data, the only thing I'm getting is what? From those three things. The only thing I'm getting is what? Email. But we're authenticating users by what? Email and password. Where is the password going to? Why am I not getting the data from the password? Can't try. Let me show you again. We got email here, right? From where? From the value of email from the user input. Value of password from the user input. Now, in create user with email and password, we pass the email as a parameter and the password as a parameter. Now, in the user data, we are now storing the value of the email to what? To our email credential right here. Why are we not storing the value of the password that we also have here to our password credential? Why are we not saying, oh, password, and what user dot what? The password. Why are we not saying this? Why is it that I'm only interested in the user email and not the password? You can try. I know I've not said it before, but I believe you can try. What we should go to just try? Can try. It's normal, it's not hard. It's very easy. Why exactly are we interested in the password but not in the email but not the password? Mr. Kelvin and Mr. David, you want to try? It's easy. If I say it, you will shout because it's easy. It's easy. Although Emmanuel shouted, it's just an exaggeration, but it's very, very easy. Very easy. So, God bless you. God bless you. That's one of the reasons, but that's not fully it. Now, let me just explain what she's trying to say. What she's trying to say is, if we store our password in our front end, what happens is that users or anybody can right click. You know, the way we right clicking, inspect, check out this thing. Now, one thing is that our password is not really encoded, it's actually encoded to Firebase, so they cannot hack us like that, but they can hack us if I store it in this place. Now, basically, the reason why I did not do it is because anybody, any good hacker can probably at some point weaken your security or your security defenses in your Firebase and then get into your Firebase. Now, once they get into your Firebase, there is every tendency that if your password is stored in your Firebase, they get passwords. So what happens if I put Let me show you what I'm trying to say now. So if you come right to this place now, let's go to our authentication, right? Come back to authentication. You know, I already said, I already have 2 users now. Can you see I have 3 users? Can you see it? The 3 users, they have their identifier, which is their email, and then they have their user ID. Can you see it? This is it. Is everybody seeing it? The user ID and then the password. No, just look at my own. Okay, I think I see it. It's not on yet. Oh, now they have their unique identifier and then they have their what? Their UID. Now, one thing that you need to know is that if I store my password in this place, my password will also what? Show here. And it is not, it's not advisable for your password to be showing in your database. That's bad programming. If anybody does that, it's a sackable offense. Do you get? Like, you cannot store your password. Now, if you're going to be creating password yourself, you cannot also store it in your database. This is how it works. You create the user authentication functionality, and then you now pass your user's password through an encryption, through an hashing service. So you can use MD5, you can use any hashing that you want to use. Now, what you're trying to do is that what? That particular password is not going to be converted to an hash algorithm. Now, if person puts his password, someone puts their password as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What is going to be showing is not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's going to be what? Series of what? Mixed up codes. Why? Because you've asked that password, so nobody can actually guess what that password is about. Do you get it now? So what am I saying? Let me show you MD5. These things are not, so MD5 hash generator. And this is how it works. So if you go to MD5 hash generator now, so let's now say my password is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, if I generate an hash, what happens? Can you see it now? See my MD. This is how it is going to look like. Now, tell me, how do they want to generate, this is how it's going to look. So what you should do is that whenever you want to store your password, what happens? You should be able to hash that password and make sure that whatever password your user is inputting in is automatically converting to an hash string. Now, that is what Firebase does. So Firebase has taken care of all of these things for you. So you don't have to do it by yourself. So what they do is that whatever password the user is putting into that particular place automatically gets hashed. So that you don't even need to worry about saving it. Firebase has already hashed it. They are not even saving it. So what happens is that whenever user now wants to log in, if you now press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it is now that particular hashed signature or whatever string that has been hashed that is now going to be generated to log them in. So what am I saying? If a user tries to log in or sign up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, there's like an hash code generated. Now, is that hash code Firebase recognizes, not the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Do you get? So if they now want to log in, what would they recognize? How would they log in? If I press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 as my password, what happens is that as I'm logging in, it gets converted back to that hash string that has already been hashed. You understand? And then automatically it will get the login in. That is why passwords don't need to be saved, because they are very, very much delicate. So, and one thing is that some people are very, very, they're not really that security conscious. The password that they use for Facebook is the same password they use for Instagram, the same password they use for an unknown website, right? Now, that unknown website can be a spam website. So, like, if you put your password, it automatically, this person is very, very weak. They will try it across every of your accounts, and then that's how they lock people out. So that is why they don't want to put in passwords again as your distance. So they now automatically hash those passwords so that people will not exactly know your password. Do you get? Now that's exactly what happens. So now that is why we do not use we don't go yet put in our password to store it. So again, you do not store your password. You don't ever store your password yourself. What you have to do is just allow Firebase to handle it. Store your email, store the user ID, and allow Firebase to handle the rest. Okay, so I think that is well explained. Do you understand it? So we all understand that. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
we'll move on to Firestore. Now, if you're on Firestore, you should be able to see something like this that shows create database, right? Now, what we are expected to do right now is we're expected to store the database, store whatever values we have in this database. So you go ahead and click on create database. Now, if you click on create database, you can see standard edition, enterprise edition. Just use the standard edition. You don't need enterprise. Then click on next. Just click on next. And then we are not really interested in production. We are interested in the test mode. So click on test mode and click on create. That's what we are interested in for now. Okay. Who's done? Try and connect to Tech Edu. I think it's really falling. Yes, click on create database. It's standard edition. And next. I'm able to do that. Okay. All I'm able to create. Bigger. That's all. I don't know, this thing looks dim.
Yes.
I want to see clearly. I'll be able to create it. Use test mode. It's not production mode. Test mode. Has it created now? Let's go to. Has it created now? But it's still looking. And you can change your network. Has it off? Refresh it. Perfect. Just control R. Please do anything. Next. It's not up. Next. And test mode. Yes. Just next. The test you want everything is. Just don't read. Okay. Sales relations. No one's created. No one's investigating. This is but it's a most relevant business. If you Yes, Mr. Chef, we'll start the first one. It's in car. The thing is that they know the thing that. Let's start this. Yeah, so. That's the thing, that's. No. That's right. It's probably our own, maybe 3 hours, because the fast way was in the. It's not what this stuff. I don't know, it's the same thing now, no, on our, no one is working actually. Nobody else, no. This is all issues for our now. So what you have to do is that you actually have to add it, just payment method. That's all. Okay? No. We don't collect any money, but the reason is because some people these days why they over point of view. So this is what happens. People are using as they're using a particular something. As they're using their press. It should be like that. When you call out failures, that works. So you should be seeing this now. So now the reason why they are asking for this is because some people are now misusing firebase. So they just use it for a lot of bulky things because it's free. The only thing you say that advertisement for me to hosting. That one is different. Hosting guy is also an hosting. Yeah, it's like myself, but it's much more efficient when it comes to hosting, but it's not free. That's why I didn't talk about hosting. The hosting guy is not free. The hosting guy, I use hosting guy like almost every month, so it's not free. Hosting guy is always paid. But the thing is that if you're like a long-term customer, they can just give you a little bit of discount and all of those things. It's not free. No. Okay. So now in this case, now we are interested in 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 database. We've been able to talk about authentication, how to authenticate user. Now let us now store whatever it is that we are getting to our database. Now, exactly the reason why I'm doing this is because if you check authentication, now there's every tendency that you have user details already, but you need to get those details from somewhere. Because if you're trying to log in, users need to be what remembered. That means those details have to be what stored in the database so they can be fetched and what authenticated. Now, how exactly are we going to do that? Do the same thing that you did before. In this search, just search for storing data Firebase. So go to your docs and search for storing data with Firebase. Then click on enter. Again, automatically, it will bring out series of results. Then as you can see, it's going to say saving data, saving Firebase real-time database. So we have cloud storage for Firebase. It has a lot of things. Then now, one important thing is that it has what? Firestore, right? Using our flexible, scalable NoSQL cloud database built Google infrastructure to store and sync data for client and server-side development. So what we're interested in is what? Cloud Firestore. But we're not just interested in Cloud Firestore. We're interested in what? Adding data to where? To Firestore. We didn't see it. Now, if you scroll down again, you should see read and write data. Scroll down again, you can see structure of data. Now, if you scroll down, you should see add data to where? Cloud Firestore. Now, this is what we're interested in. Can you see it? Although we already thought we saw what we needed before, but now we are interested in what add data to what Cloud Firestore. I'll click on this and then we'll check what we want. So as you can see, to add data to what Cloud Firestore, we have series of so as you can see, let's look at it. We have the initialize cloud store. We have set a document. Now that's basically what we want to do. Why are we setting a document? Because we want to add files, add documents to Cloud Firestore. So that's exactly where we're going to go to. So on set documents, you can see to create or override a single document, use the following language specific set methods. So now the set docs, look at what it has. So set doc is saying that okay, you're going to import doc and set doc from where? Firestore, good. The last one, authentication, was from where? Off. Right now it's from where? Firestore, because we're trying to import from Firestore. Now, then we're also going to use what? Await this particular set doc module from where? From Firestore. So the first thing I need to do is first of all copy this top one, import doc or set doc from Firebase Firestore, and put it to where? To this beginning that is here. Again, your import statement has to go to the beginning of every file. Now, do not forget something. Don't forget that what exactly you need right now is that now let us look at this piece. You know, when we're trying to do the auth, what did I say? I said you have to copy this link, right? That is at the top here, and set it to where? Auth. The same thing in this place. You have to copy the link at the top here, right? I'm going to copy it now. So copy the link at the top. What's wrong? Copy the link at the top right here and replace it with this one that is here. Just like we did for authentication. But one more thing, change this app to what? What are we going to change this app to? Firestore, exactly. Why? Because where we are trying to import them from is from where? Firestore. The same way we are trying to import this one is from authentication. We change it to what? Auth. This is app before. We change it to app. Now it's what? Firestore. Thank you very much. So Firestore. Do you get it now? So that is why we are importing it from what? Firestore.js. Now, you cannot go ahead and is this light? Okay, so now Firestore. Now we've been able to install it. Now, what we are going to use is now this particular function right here. Now it is this particular function that we're now going to use in what? Getting that particular document or setting the document to where? Firestore. Now, check this function that is here. There is something odd about it. What is odd there? Okay, don't let me say odd. There is something unique that you can see there. And what exactly is it? Exactly. 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 But there's one thing that I want you to check there. Is an object storing what exactly? It is storing user information. Now, what are the user information that is storing? It's storing the DB. No, it's not actually storing the DB. The DB is the database that is storing cities and then the city value of what? LA. Everybody is just speaking. Look at it. I want you to check what is happening here. See, this thing is just English. If you read it, you understand it. Now look at it. The documentation right here is storing what? Cities. And one of those cities is what? LA, which is Los Angeles, right? Good. Now that is what it's trying to do. Now, bringing it into what we want to do. How exactly are we going to get the same thing that is here? It's easy. Very easy. Again, check it out. What we are trying to say is that what this is an example. What they are doing here is an example of what you can do on your own. So that's how they do it. You want to ask her? Okay, this is how they do it. So let's say you want to create user authentication. You can use this to do anything. So they will give you an example of how to implement it. Now, what they are saying right here is that what they are importing doc and they are setting doc, right? They are importing doc and set doc. Set doc is using what? Adding documentation to a particular file store database. Now, they are not saying this particular set doc, right? Now as a document, and the documents are about stored to the database. Now, one of those documents was the cities. Now, part of those cities now was LA. So you are storing only one city to this particular data. So if you check it out, name is what? Los Angeles, state, California, then country is what? USA. Do you get it now? Now, that's exactly what it is. Now, how exactly are we going to do the same thing right here? With our own listing. What we can do, okay. Good. Exactly, which we've already done. You understand it now? We've already done this. This one that is here now. Exactly. So now, what is now going to be in this place for us? Is the question. Good.
Personal data, email. Or you do email.
Wait. Check this out. This is for singular state. Now imagine if they are talking about any state in the US. The reason why they said cities, LA, is because this is only meant to take in LA. But our own app is not meant to take in one person. Sorry, it's not meant to take in one person. It's meant to take in how many people? Multiple users. Do you understand it now? So if this is going to be cities, this is not LA. This is going to be what? If it's not taking multiple cities, it's going to be what? City dot UID. Because each city now has a what? Unique ID. Now, if you now want to change it to our own, what will now be our own? DB, then, no, before UID, users, cities, users, and then what? User.uid. Because each user has a unique ID. Do you get it now? So we can copy this up, just copy everything that is here. Then we can come, yeah. This import statement here. Yes. So we can copy this, then come straight down to this place in the same, instead of putting this console.log user data, clear it out and put, oh, that's wrong. Now, as you can see, we now have set doc, DB, cities. Now, we're not using cities, I'm going to be using what? Users, right? And then this LA, I'm going to change this LA to what? Users dot, sorry, user, not users, user dot what? UID. Now, that is what we need for now. Are we getting it? That was. So again, it is docs, documentation. So make it easy for you. Just go to docs, search for forgot what did I even search for that time? I searched for storage. You know what? Go to build. On build, go to Firestore. Now on Firestore, check this left side. Can you see manage data? Now under manage data, you can see manage data. Can you see add data? Open add data and then click on add data also. So you should be able to see it. So if you clicked on add data, you should see set a document. So if you scroll down, you set a document right here. Now that's where you're going to copy it from. Okay. Exactly. Now, Mr. Shegun, you have a question. Please go ahead. Okay. Yeah, that's just refresh your page. Don't worry, refresh your page. Just refresh your page. It's going to like come back. That's all you have to do. I could. Okay.
Boss,
Yeah.
please, I want to ask something though.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah, this firebase storage, how big is it? Because I'm just wondering, looking at Facebook, Instagram, do they all have this thing? I mean, or there's other platform for something like this too.
So Facebook and the others, they have their own databases. Now, not the fact that I'm using Firebase does not mean that Facebook uses Firebase. I'm very sure Facebook does not use Firebase because Firebase cannot really undo something like Facebook. So Facebook has their own dedicated server of Firebase. You get it now. So Facebook was actually built with PHP, right? So basically, they have their own dedicated Firebase, probably more SQL like, not the no S. This is no SQL. No SQL probably sometimes cannot really undo applications like Facebook because it's not going to like get much more expensive to use to manage. So what do I mean by expensive? That card they're adding, if you have multiple users, what happens is that your bills start increasing. Just that 1 month you wake up, they debit you $1,000. Why? Because you've had like the space in your application is now much more consumed. And the more space you consume, the more money they remove. So Facebook most of the times might not utilize something like this. But just to like add, this is also very, very good at building small size or small scale applications that can now scale up to other types of bigger applications or probably try to utilize other forms of databases. Do you get it now? You can still even use it on big projects, but big projects like Facebook, I would not recommend. Is it? Have I answered your
Okay,
question?
boss. Yes, but in a case where you have an application and it is a growing application, so it's not grows to a large one, can you move it from this Firebase to other platform?
Yes. You can now even move it from your normal Firebase to like probably SQL or SQLite the database models. But it's definitely movable. You can definitely move it. But you can even use
Okay,
Superbase.
thank you.
Superbase is even very, very easier. You can also check out Superbase. Superbase is also nice. That's why I'm explaining Firebase. And if you can understand Firebase docs and you still go ahead and read Superbase docs, it's easier for you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right. So moving on now, we've been able to get the user set doc, then the documentation, the DB, and then the users and the user UID. Now, the next thing is to what? Get the name of the user, state of the user, and country. We don't need the country, right? All we need is the UID and email. So we can go ahead and still do the same thing that we've done here. So we can copy UID and what email and still put it here, right? That works. But this is what people used to call tautology. So why are we calling it tautology? We're going to because you've already defined something before. Why exactly are you still going ahead and rewriting it? You understand it now? We've set it to a variable of user data. So all I have to do here is what? Go ahead and call user data right in this place. So what am I saying? I can just go ahead and what? Delete this out and say user data. So automatically it's going to recognize that, oh, this set doc is getting the data from where? This particular what? User data object. So what did I do? Set doc, then the DB, and then what? I'm automatically getting all of these things. Now, that is all you have to do. That's everything that you have to do. So I hope with these few points of mine, or are the points not few? I hope with this few points of mine, I think there's one more thing that I should have done here. So first of all, this let's check it out. Is everybody here? Like, looks like everybody just zoned out after that first thing. Mr. Gocha here. Mr. Okay. So now there is one thing that we need to do. We can go ahead and say, so we said set docs, set doc. So we need to also get Firestore, right? So don't doc, set doc. I think it works well. Oh, we need to also get Firestore. So just a moment. Let's go back to this code right here. So let's pull up. Now see, look at this top here. That's why it's good to read documentation. I need everybody's attention first on for now. It's good for everybody to read documentations first. Now we did not read it. They said overview before you begin. Go ahead and what? Initialize Cloud Firestore in your application. Now, what did we do? We did not. Did anybody import this? No, we did not do it. So where are we importing it? We're supposed to import get Firestore from where? Firebase Firestore. So just go ahead and what? Copy this particular module and paste it in this place. Since we already got the Firestore, paste it here. Now I've gotten get Firestore. Now they still expect us to do something else, which is what? Initialize it. So what do they want us to do? Const DB equals what? Get Firestore, then app. Because I was looking at it, where did DB come from? So if you check this place, I'm using DB database. Where is this database coming from? The database actually supposed to come from where? That Firestore. Because that so what I expect everybody to do is just go ahead and do that same configuration that I gave. So what you're trying to do is you're not doing one page. Create welcome.html, index.html, sign up and login.html. Now the code for login, paste it in login.html. The code for sign up that you did here, that design for sign up, paste it in sign up.html. Now, this is how it's going to work. what you have to do is you have to initialize a whole new HTML like this again. See my sign up, a whole new HTML like this. Then paste whatever design or whatever code you're putting in the body again. So you're not copying everything. Just like saying that this particular part is sign up. You copy it, you cut it out of that page. You're not copying it, you remove it, you cut it and delete it out of that home page. Then go to sign up and paste it. Yes, 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 yes. No, not even that. What I'm saying is that you created everything on one page. It's not supposed to be on one page. Separate them and put them on different pages.
Inside that folder, I should create a new file. I write welcome.html and then transfer this to welcome.html, the div. I should just div and put it into that folder. Now I'm trying to explain to you that I did it. I was trying to do this welcome.html to try it. So I moved the div, like everything I wrote on that, I just copied it and pasted it into the welcome.html. Now I still linked my CSS
How did you do it?
under that heading. I did link and then put style.css.
Is there an edge in the welcome.html? Can I see what you've done? Let me just see. Yeah, Mr. Pius, go ahead.
Yes, you were explaining something before I think your network went off or something, so we could not hear the concluding part.
Yeah, I think it was this part. Did you get this part, this last part?
Yes, that's where we were.
Yeah, that's where I actually stopped when I noticed that. Listen, so just a minute, please. Let me stop recording.
Okay.
This is what I'm saying now.